Courage with volunteer.
You're looking very, with those glasses, I don't know what it is, those little black...
Very school teacher.
Very, yes, it's like...
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, good evening.
Yes, well, today we're going to talk about the truth.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. Is there any? What is amazing to me is, you know, we were listening to Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Who's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much of his stuff is truthful, but he literally did a podcast that was done through AI.
Yes.
None of which was him. AI used his voice, used words, did the subject, even had interviews with other people, none of which were real.
Right.
And that blew it blew his mind. He couldn't believe it either.
Right.
There was literally a whole podcast that he produced that he didn't produce. AI did. Had a talk, his voice, everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't real.
It's amazing.
Where's the truth now?
Do you know what?
Fake news.
You could have somebody like Princess Diana.
Come back to life.
Yeah, you really could with AI.
Let's hope we don't have to go through the royal...
But I mean...
No more royal stuff.
You could do that with anybody though. You know, you lose a loved one and you could have their reactions based on their past history. Because I think that we use the same words over and over again.
I get a thing on my phone, a new word every day.
Oh.
It never stops.
What do you mean it never stops?
There is new words.
Oh, every day.
That I don't know.
Right.
That pop up. I mean, I know some of them. But some of them, I go, what? So I have to look and here's the definition of that word and where it came from. It was 16th century. You know, it says biddle bottle, and then you go, what is biddle bottle? Then if you go scroll further down, it says definition, where it came from and what it means.
Cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would be a bit silly then
well,
just putting
a
word
thinking.
on. Didn't you think so?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep your glasses off because something's happened with the teacher. It's amazing to me that I only use a few hundred words.
It's not to me,
my
darling.
whole life.
You're a very simple little brain.
But back to the truth. Here we go. And I got the dictionary definition and looked at a few things, and really, I don't think anybody knows what the truth is. What we see and believe is the truth.
Yeah.
I then went on and looked at, the psychiatrists and philosophers and Bertrand Russell and that. And I got the horrible feeling that nobody has a clue.
Right.
What is the truth?
Well, the truth to you is your truth, which isn't my truth.
Right, but don't you find that frightening?
Well,
what are we looking at
yes.
when we listen to politicians or the news, when they're stating stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Is any of that true? Or is it just the belief that NBC and ABC and CBS are towing the party line and saying this?
Right.
I've got no idea if it's true.
So then you get
and
people
who
listen to Fox News and that's their truth, and other people that listen to the BBC and that's their truth. But don't you
find that kind of scary?
Well, I think it's scary insofar as that's why where we're at right now in the world with politics. That's why we're so divided, because we literally believe our truth, our perspective, which is upheld by other people believing it, and then you've got a tribe that believes this is the truth.
Yes. So it's really just points of view.
Yeah, so our job is to be open-minded and not be tribalistic and look outside our own perspective, but it's really difficult.
I try and do that.
Oh yes, you're amazing.
And I say the word try. But I do want to try and understand why people say what to me is a total lie, but they think it's the truth. It's like, wow, how did that happen? What's going on in my head that allows me to think this? And what's going on in their head that makes them allowed to think that? How does that happen?
Well, it's all because the way that we're brought up, where we're brought up. If you live in China, then you believe that way of life. And if you're born in Great Britain, you believe that way of life. I mean,
but if you don't,
your parents and everything.
Yeah, but if we look at history, certain people have said, I don't believe this.
Right.
And they've actually fought to get what they needed to get because they believed that what they were being sold was a bunch of bullshit. And they couldn't tolerate it, so they go into... In fact, the world has changed because people believe that what they're being told is not the truth. Does that make sense, or have I just made that up?
Hang on, you have to unpack that a bit.
Yeah, so, like slavery.
Yes.
So slavery has been going on for all over. Millennium. Everywhere in the world has had slaves. The Greeks, the Romans, the Brits, and here we are here. And as we were going through each century, people somehow said, wait a minute, this is not right. Based on whatever they were looking at, thinking, this is not right. We're treating a human being like us as though they were a beast in the field. That can't be right. So then this whole abolition and stopping slavery and that. So now, in today's world, there's still slavery, of course, but like here in America and in Europe and about 189 countries, slavery is not allowed. So it all started because we couldn't accept the story that we were being told about slavery, that it was all okay. We said, no, it's not. Some of us. Yeah, I'm saying us like it was me. Right. Some people said, no, that's not right. And changed the whole philosophy of how we look at slavery. It's like, with Hitler, he did the reverse thing. He told all the Germans, this is what's going on here. Believe me, this is what it is. It's those people's fault. It's that group. It's those people who are gypsies and Jews and Catholics and they're the guilty ones. They're the one. And somehow the German people said, oh, okay. We now believe that. That's the truth.
That always
because
happens.
It's in newspapers and they're broadcasting it in Germany to say, this is the truth.
Do you know what my truth is? It's really hard to interrupt you. Because
no, you seem to do it very well, though. It's really annoying when I'm on a string.
There's a little space.
Be quiet and get on with what you're saying.
And you've been talking, and then I jump in, but you carry it. It's like, oh my God, right.
But so the truth is that you don't think anything I'm saying is worthwhile, and you can't wait to interrupt me and get on with the next one.
No, I think it's very worthwhile what you're saying. But there comes a point when I want to get my little bit in.
Oh my God, God help us if you don't. Right, go.
You're so rude sometimes.
I just do that. Right.
So my book club, we're reading Barbara Kingsolver's Demon Copperhead. So it's about the Appalachians and the opioid epidemic. And it was legal to give these opioids as prescriptive medicine, right? Because there's lots of people there that are doing these repetitive jobs that cause them pain in their bodies, and not many hospitals around or doctors. So they'll go to a doctor once a year who, with pain, and they were prescribed these opioids. I hope I've got this right. So Barbara Kingsolver's book is about the Appalachians. They came from the Scots and the Irish, and it's mountainous and it's more family farms because it's hilly.
Farmsteads as opposed to farming.
Small bits of. And there's all this stuff about, like, whiskey. They had whiskey, they homemade it, and they weren't taxed. So of course the government went in because they couldn't have that people are making their own whiskey without it being taxed. So where am I going with this? I'm going with this of, like, what a lot of lies that people are given. And what Barbara Kingsolver said was that, I think she was referring to Trump. When Trump came in and kind of said, I'm thinking of you. For one of the first times they thought and believed like that this person was actually listening to them and thinking about them.
When we know he couldn't give a...
Right, well he couldn't, but so that was the thought behind it. So I think I've said probably a lot of fucking untruths there because I haven't studied it enough. But I do know that Barbara Kingsolver's book is out there talking about the Appalachian people and how wonderful they are and how amazing and how...
Dolly Parton.
Community driven, and they're inventive and resourceful and just amazing.
Keep looking up there. You keep looking down.
I want to look down there because that's my truth is down there somewhere.
I think when you know that you're lying, you go down here and you start
Probably.
looking away.
Well,
I think exactly what you said is my belief that she's right.
Well, a lot of parents have died through these opioids in the Appalachians, and there's lots and lots and lots of children now who are without parents, and they're basically being looked after by communities, by schools who are totally underfunded. So it's a fucking shit show, really. You know, so truths, it's awful. I hate it. I don't want to know these truths because it's like slavery when it was there, or Germany, the Nazi. You know, I'm a person I think I don't want to know because it's so horribly, horribly upsetting.
Yeah, but the only way we make change is because people go, wait a minute, I don't believe this anymore. I think this is wrong.
Well, I don't know what I can do to change it though, and I'm a lazy little bastard, so I don't want to really volunteer. So I'm just, what the fuck? I don't know. What do we do?
Well, we talk about it like we're doing now.
Yeah.
That's all.
But how does that change anything?
Well, we don't know. There might be somebody out there who goes right and does something different. We're doing something different by talking about it in a way that probably a lot of people don't like to hear. That the truth is that we've been hoodwinked all of our lives. All of us.
Yeah.
In the world. We're hoodwinked. We are the little ants of life, and we're hoodwinked into just getting on with and doing things and keep your mouth shut and get on with it.
And I think people...
Slave labour, basically.
Yeah, I think people want to just divide us as well. So yes. Barbara Kingsolver talks, because she has a farm. She was born there in Kentucky in the Appalachians, and then she travelled Europe for several years, and then her work visa ran out, otherwise she probably would be in France or something. So then she came back and she went to Tucson, Arizona, and then she really hungered though for back where her home was. So now she has a farm in the Appalachians. But she says that people say to her, like, why are you living here? She says it's looked on as kind of being a shameful place.
Oh, it always has. Well, there's jokes about it. And, you know.
Isn't that shameful? Like,
yeah.
Why do we do that? So it's no wonder that there is this division between rural and city life. You know, and city life look down on the rural, and rural look at city life as bastard liars, the politicians, and I don't know what we do, Punky.
Yeah, we don't. We just do what we're doing, babe.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Everybody can do what they're doing, and that's it. You do the best you can with what you've got, and we want to talk about it, and that's what we're doing.
Yes, but you and I are, in a way, we're at fault the way that I think about Trump. I mean, as soon as I see him, I don't think that I should be doing that. I think I should be looking at some of the stuff that he says as correct. But it's so hard to think, Trump right in anything? But he must be right in some things. And I know you've gone silent now because I think you're thinking absolutely not.
No, I'm desperately trying to think of something that I think he's done that was worthwhile.
Didn't he want to open communication with China? South Korea?
No, North
Korea. See, what a dick I am.
Yeah, well,
that's why I sometimes don't want to speak.
And Russia.
Yeah,
But he's coming anyway. Yeah.
Well, I know, but that is something like open communication.
No, I agree. Yes, let's call that a good thing then.
Yeah, let's call that a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's call his art of negotiation a good thing, where I think he's courageous in that way of, stormtrooping through things.
Stormtrooping, Nazi, yeah, very good.
No, but see what I'm saying.
That.
No, but it's what I'm saying is this divisiveness
But that's all he's done.
Yes,
he's used that as a tool.
Right, and I am not going to vote for Trump, but what I'm saying is, in this divisive nature that we have to look at the other side and see that there are some things that they're doing that are good, and then there's got to be a coming together. I think what the problem right now is that I'm taking my side and I'm not going to listen to your side, and your side is all lies, lies, lies. Well, that is not the truth. Everybody has something to give, and we have to open our ears to it.
Yes,
And
I
right
agree.
now, we're not. We're putting up signs, you know, no... I mean, you know, I walk along my neighbourhood and I'll see these signs, you know, be kind to neighbours, be open-minded, but we're not.
Well, we are, because we're just talking about you want to be open, and I'm agreeing with you. So there's
Yes.
two people that want to be open-minded. Give us a chance, or I'll send you back to Appalachian, and you can...
Do you know,
So-
I would love to go there, actually. I mean, you know, they're all from Scots, and I mean, you're from
My
Scotland.
descent, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
There's probably a G there, a Mac
Oh,
G.
holy
or there'll
nolly.
be a MacNeil there, probably. You're MacNeil.
Will they have one tooth that they share with everybody in the
See,
community?
you bastard.
I know, I can't do that. It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It is actually, but it's...
Yeah. Well, you have
In
to
a
have
very
humour
co-
as
yes,
well
you have to
about
have-
it, you know?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really left with, dear God, what is... It's just an opinion. All I've got is my opinions, and I'll call them the truth.
Yes.
So there we are. I think you said it, babe. You know, I love the way that you talked about that. We have to stop this divisiveness and communicate with each other at a different level where we can see the point of view. We may not like the point of view, but we can see it. And then hopefully through talking and discussing, we get to some semblance of your point of view and my point of view are actually getting closer.
Yeah.
So we can make something happen that we might eventually call the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like the immigration right now in you know, all over the world, in Britain, over here, you know, migrants coming in.
Yeah,
We're all
everywhere.
migrants, of course. But that whole, the very left, the far left, I don't agree with that. You know, open the borders, I'm not sure if that's what they're saying, by the way, but, you know, let everybody in, give them work. Well, what about the homeless over here? What about the children in Appalachia who are not being served? You know, we can't just look after immigrants without serving our own people.
Well,
you know,
I'm sure that's what we're doing. I think I'm not quite sure I see your point of view there on that.
I feel that we have this very left open attitude, which we cannot have. We have to make sure that we are being of service to the citizens in the country, and not just you know, put... Well, see, so I'm going to say not just put immigrants in hotels, you know, but you can't have kids sleeping on the floor of police stations. But on the other hand, we shouldn't be just letting people in, sending them to Chicago and New York. And
Well, that's a deliberate, nasty policy from the Republicans. That's disgusting what they're doing. But again, that's their point of view, which you just so ably said as a Republican. So... Seriously, that was exactly what they say.
Oh.
Never mind about these people, let's look after our own, which they don't do. We're not looking after our own because the people in power and politics do not care at all about them. So we've got this society where we're supposed to be better than. So when you've got people who are coming from Syria, devastated, or Guatemala where they've been shot and it's there. What do? It's very complicated. So we've got all these there's 40 million people here on the breadline, the richest country in the world, but we'd rather spend it on military. So you know, you can't win with this one. How do you get the best that we can be, given the fact we have this terrible thing about communism and socialism, which I don't even think half these people that talk about it even understand what it is. But never mind. So that's their point of view.
Well, let's just quickly
and
say,
they're going to go.
Socialism is, you know, your post office. That's socialism.
Yes, everything that we've got here, the fire department, everything,
veterans, the VA
social
hospitals.
security, it's all social.
Looking after
You
society.
silly people. If you could just get that bit.
I think what it is that we are paying top people way too much, you know, for there to be billionaires, and then they find tax loopholes, and corporations that are finding tax loopholes. We need to pay our taxes so that we can have this infrastructure which does look after schools and takes care of orphans and, you know, like that kind of thing.
Oh, of course. Why don't we though?
Well, because we get greedy.
Because
and
money is more
powerful
important here than virtually anything in the world.
Oh God! And we're back to me feeling absolutely. I don't want to know. What am I going to do?
How can we leave on a happy note here? Because this is
Oh, no.
ridiculous. See, let's say something happy that we all know what we know.
Well, no. Here's something that's happy that I think
Okay.
that you do. We
Yes.
have this very old car. It's a 2006 Honda Odyssey. And
Touring.
It's done at
320,000 miles.
It's
She's
got
called Bessie.
We call her Bessie. We've got a cracked windscreen, and what I love about you is that you keep her going. You're getting transmission oil, and you're going way down into the engine.
Yes, and different
you've
oils.
made these
and, yes,
things to get
special
in there.
little things that we've made.
Instruments. You're like a little Appalachian. It's your Scottish resourcefulness coming
Exactly.
back. It's your
With no
MacLean.
tools. Doing it with no... MacIver. See? Scottish.
There you are.
MacIver.
Yes.
So there we are. Yes, so my little Bessie, I really don't want to get rid of her. She starts every time. She needs a new exhaust. I mean, there's
There's
a
things
lot
going.
of things
You can hear
wrong.
her coming down the street, and
Yes.
everybody's
Bum,
like,
bum, bum,
"Oh, there's
bum,
Val
bum,
and
bum,
Jeff.
bum,
They're,
bum.
they're
Yes.
going out again in there."
Yes.
Bessie.
So it's very shameful, and it kills off your pride. If you've got pride, try keeping an old car going and driving around. It'll get rid of your pride.
And your ego.
Yes.
I love it. Well, see, so that's what you do.
So that, yeah, well, right. And she sort of symbolises what life is about, really, if we just decide to care, if we think about things.
Here's another thing. There's friends of ours who retired like us and don't have that much money, but they have an envelope in the car with money in to give to homeless people. And I think,
Very
isn't that
good.
amazing? Like,
Right.
you know, they don't really have money themselves to do
And
that.
when you try and snatch the money out of all homeless people's hands because of your
Piss off.
Republican thing. So, yeah, you've said it to me a lot. Most people are good.
Yes.
And I mean good in the sense of being a human being.
Yes.
The only thing on the planet called a being.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice to know? We're the only thing called a being.
Yes.
A human being.
It's that Pareto rule. 80% of people are great. 20% are a little bit shitty.
And they're in power. So there you go. I
But
think that sums
but we
our
have
life
to
up.
listen to that.
And back to the truth again. Right, we have to say goodbye because we've had such a wonderful time and we're now depressed. So have a great, great day wherever you are, doing whatever you do. And do subscribe, please.
We love you lots.
We love you.
Because you're one of the 80% amazing evolved human beings. Yay!
Yay.
Thanks and please subscribe.